Hi and welcome to this sort of half-hour video which will talk you through how to set up your town's totally locally mini site. It's built on WordPress, so if you're not familiar with WordPress, hopefully you've got someone in your town that does. So we're going to talk through all the instructions, and by the end of it we'll have our site all set up. Just before we start, you'll see here I've got some tabs open in the browser. I've got a Facebook page, Twitter, the YouTube channel and Instagram. The key things for this new site is very heavily focused on social media. So if you haven't got your town's Facebook page, Twitter and Instagram as a minimum set up, then perhaps you grab a brew, go ahead and get those set up first before we go any further. I've also got a tab here which is the email, webmail. So when you register your town, you get sent an email address. So to be, in this case, we're setting up the site for Leek. So the email address is leek@totallylocally.org. So that's everything there. So you can see we've got this login page. Now where do we get this from? Well, this is the email here. And I've got two emails, new totally locally site, totally locally leak, and username and password. So we just click on there. And you'll see here it's got a link to the site and a link to the login, which is the bit you just saw. Username is leek, and then there's a password. It's a little bit more complicated than just the username, so I'm just going to copy that and go back to the login, and we'll just put in leek and then paste the password. There is a little box there you can tick to remember you, so that you don't have to remember the password every time that you log in. So just click log in. I don't want to remember the password right now. So this is how your site looks at the login, and at the moment this is how it looks as the website that your visitors would see, and it's going to look very different in the next half hour. So the first thing we've got is this little box, help improve all-in-one event calendar. Now we've added an event calendar to the town sites. You don't have to use that, but if you do, it's there, and this is where you can put your town's totally locally events or other events and activities that are going on. But first of all, we just need to click on this box to stop it popping up all the time. So we'll just be nice and allow tracking so they can develop the program further. And we've got this box here, new in Jetpack, centralized site management. Just close that because you don't need to activate that. It's all done for you. And the final nag that we've got, all-in-one event calendar. The plugin is installed but has not been configured. Click here to set it up. So we'll do that first. All these things are really simple steps. If you just take your time and follow what we're doing, you should be absolutely fine for that. So the option we've got here, it says auto create new page, which we'll do. Week starts on a Sunday, and we've got the available views. So we've got agenda, day, month or week. So we'll go for agenda. I want to choose a time zone, and we'll go into Europe. Eventually, Atlantic, Pacific. I think we might have gone a little bit too far. Europe, there we go. We'll choose London. There are a few more settings on here. So you've got like page, number of events to show on the page, that sort of thing. But we don't need to go into too much detail at the moment. So we'll just click Save Settings. And we've got that bit done. And then you've got the rest of your menu down here. Now, if you're familiar with WordPress, this will all be straightforward. If not, we'll go through step by step. But the two key things to know about WordPress, that you've got two kinds of structure, a page and a post. A page is what you would call a static page, that's like your home page or a contact page or the calendar, which always appears in the same format. And posts are small news snippets, articles, information that will appear in more of a time linear sort of manner, and we'll see what that looks like later. But we just need to go into posts first. Because this is a new WordPress installation, it very helpfully creates a dummy post, but we don't need that, so we just need to put it in the bin, and then in a bit we'll import all the brand new content that we've got. And the same for the pages. So we'll just go into there and delete that. And we've got the sample page, which we don't need. We've created the calendar already, so we don't want to get rid of that. One other thing whilst we're in posts, you'll see this option here, categories. Categories is how you can organise your posts into useful areas. So we're going to create a category for here. I'll just call it totally locally leak news. You can put your town name in, as you see fit. Because the alternative is uncategorized, which isn't really that useful. So we've got rid of the page. So the other thing that we're going to prepare for the site are some images on the front page, what's called an image slider. Just get rid of some of these, and we've got those there. So you can see that we've got 4 images all prepared, ready to upload in a bit. So we go into media, and all your media is stored in what's called the library. So I'm going to add new images, select the files, and these are in my desktop down here. Slider images, and we've got those 4 there, and we can just click and shift to choose all the images. These images we've prepared are 960 pixels wide, 460 pixels deep. We've saved them as a medium quality JPEG so they're not too big when you upload them onto the site, because otherwise it will really slow it down. So hopefully that isn't just me going blah 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 and that has actually made some sense. If it hasn't made sense, then I think you need to go and just have a chat with someone who you think it might make sense to, because it's quite important for the site. Now the first step here as well is we need to give them all a title. So you see there it's given it one, but it's not very user friendly. So we'll just put totally locally Leek Sunday supplement, which is a Sunday market we run in Leek. And also we've got this alt text here, and we just need to pretty much copy the same thing. And this is used, if you think about, say, Google, they index your site, they can't see the photos, it's not that clever yet, but the alt text tells the browser what your photo is of. So that's done. Just click there, you see this little icon comes up saved, so we know that's updated, and then we'll just do the same for all the others. So we'll call this I Love Leek Badges. And again we'll just copy and paste. That's saved, just click there, make sure it's all up to date and saved. These titles will actually show up on the slider on the front page. This is why we're going through making them look a little bit more user friendly than just the hyphenated descriptions. There's some supplement blackboards. And the final one, and we'll just call this totally locally Leek pics. Saved. So that's the media that's all ready for us. The next bit we need to do is just go into appearance, and then we'll click on themes here, and this is applying the totally locally town template to your site, and that's that one there. So we'll just click on activate, and that'll take a few seconds whilst it kicks in, and you see you've got this option here to add content. We need to add content because we've preloaded quite a bit onto the page, which we're going to tweak in a minute. If you don't add the content, you've got nothing to tweak. So we'll just add content, let that all load in. Let's take a few seconds. And then we've got customize, the next option down. So we get a sneak preview now of how the new site's going to look. It's not quite there yet, but you can get a feel for what we're going to be looking at later. Anyway, so the first thing we do, go into the site title, and we just put the town name there. And save that. And unfortunately my fan has just kicked in, so this might sound like someone's hoovering in the background for a bit now, but hopefully you can hear me okay. So we've customised the site title, and then we've got the theme options here. Now I'm going to make the header clickable, and that's the image that's in the top, so that will click on that will take you to the home page. And we also need to set the size of the featured image here. I'm just going to make that 400 pixels by 300 pixels. And a featured image is when you do a post and it's listed on the news page, it will have the image to the left of the text. So let's go right to the bottom here and save changes. And then we go into the meaty bit, which is setting up your first page. So how exciting, here we go. So we'll go into pages. If you think when we looked before there was sample page and calendar, and we deleted sample, and now we've got new page, contact and blog page. So we'll go into the contact page first, just so you get a feel for editing a page. This is the simplest one to do. And you've got this little distraction for your writing thing here. Well, it's distracting me at the moment, so we'll dismiss that. So when you go into the page, you've got this option of visual or text. It always needs to be on the text tab so you can see the code that is behind the page. And we look down here, mini site instructions. So all these commented out boxes are instructions. So when you see these comments, they're instructions to follow. If you think you've made a mistake, click back so you can just browse backwards, or use the revision function, which will appear in this box here, which you've saved once, so you can roll back if you make a mistake, which you shouldn't really do. I think you'd be okay. So we've got here, this is the contact page, people to get in touch about your town. Replace info@totallylocally.org with your town email you were given, and replace town with the town name. And don't forget to click update, otherwise it doesn't save what you've done. So we go down and we find the text here. So you see where it says info@totallylocally.org. We'll just change that to leak, which is the email that we've got here, and the town name, and update. And that will just scroll through. Now that is the first update that you've done for a page. It's not that hard really. You see now you've got this option to go back on your revisions because you've created a variant of the page. So that's done, so we'll go back to all pages, and we will now go into the main page. So we'll edit here. Now the first thing we'll do, it says here new page. I'm going to give it a title, let's call it Totally Locally Leak. And we've got the same instructions, mini site instructions. So first thing to look in the bottom right hand corner for WPAU top with a tick next to it, untick and click update, and I forgot to say that on the last page, which is here. So if there is a tick in there, untick it, because the site won't look right. It just does something in the formatting. We need to, it's critical really to make sure that is unticked and then updated. So we go down to the next set of instructions, image slider. Prepare 4 or 5 photos, which hopefully we've all got done and uploaded in the media library. Follow the info below to tell you where to place your cursor. Click insert shortcode in the row of the top panel, which is there. Once you're ready, we're not ready yet, click the slider, select media library as source and upload the images. So this is where it says cursor here. Delete all this text between the square brackets. So just make sure, again, we've got to be particular that we leave the square brackets in place and the cursors in between them. Really important things, but if you delete the slightest thing, like if you deleted one of the square brackets or whatever, your page will just look awful after this. So really important that you only delete the bits you're told to do. So we're going to find the slider. There's lots of shortcodes here, so we'll help ourselves by typing in slider, and there we go. So there's a slider. The image source is from the media library, and we'll just add the images. And here we go, because they're all uploaded. That's the first image, add another image. 4 to 6 images is fine for the slider. Any more, and again, it will slow the page down. So just try and prepare ones that you know you're going to want to use for a while. And you can go back and change these later. You follow the same instructions, just add new images. We don't need the images to link to anything. Just need to check the width and height now, so they match the size of images that we've prepared. 960. 460. It's responsive, which means it'll change size for mobile phones or tablets or laptops. That's all done, and we just insert the shortcode. And you see where the blank space was, we've now got this bit of code. We'll just click update there, just so we don't lose any of the work we've done in case we make a mistake later on. So we've done the image slider, and now we've got this town message, and this is the £5 message that Totally Local is built up on. Now you notice you've got these strange sort of diamond shapes here. It's just a quirk of the coding of the software that built the page, but they should be pound or dollar signs, and we'll show you how to change those. So replace the text your town with your town name without the square brackets. Find amount and replace with the amount for your town, preceded with and pound, semicolon, or and dollar, semicolon. Ignore that amp there, it's the and sign. The reason that we put this code in is that's to actually make your web browser display £1 or $1 instead of these little question marks. The £5 message is the message if everyone in the town spent £5 a week. Simple to work out, just take your town population, multiply it by 5, multiply it by 52 for weeks of the year, and that will give you numbers in this example. A 20,000 population is £5.2 million or dollars a year. So we'll follow the instructions through. For every person in your town here, we'll put in leak and a space after, and then we just got this here, so we're just going to put, as we said above, and pound semicolon, or we could put and dollar. Per week in the local independent shops instead of online at the big supermarkets, it'd be worth an extra. And you've got amount here. Just going to go back. So we've got the greater than and less than signs in the brackets there, and pound semicolon. And I know for leak it's 4.1, and it's million a year going to the local economy, which means more jobs, better facilities, and a nicer place for us all to live. And that's what Total Local is sort of all about, really. So I'll just update that for that change. So far so good, hopefully, and it's not too complicated for you. And then we've got this next bit of the instructions, a few words about your town. Find words about your town, go here, and replace them with your own. So if we go down here, see this words about your town, go here. Just delete. So again, we've got the greater than and less than sign. So I'm just going to make something up on the cuff at the moment. Totally locally leak is a traditional and vibrant market town on the edge of the Peak District with a wealth of independent shops, cafes and pubs with regular weekly markets and weekend specialty markets. There's something for everyone. Actually, no, that's a bit too corny. Weekend specialty markets, including the award-winning. Always have to get that bit in. The award-winning Sunday supplement held on the first day of the month. So that'll do for us for now. And then we come down to the social media feeds, and we said at the start that the site is very heavily dependent on social media feeds. So what we're going to do is just update the page now, and we're going to set our social media feeds up. So hopefully you've got your pages ready and everything's okay. So the first thing we're going to do is go into the Facebook feed at the bottom left. So we've updated the page, go into Facebook feed and settings. And it says here Facebook page ID. So if I go to my tab for Facebook, and you'll see here I've just got my town page name. Now if you haven't set up the option to use a Facebook web address or URL, I'd recommend to do that. That means that your page looks like facebook.com/ and your town name, rather than saying facebook.com/ pages and maybe some random numbers and all that kind of thing. So I'm going to copy that and paste that in. And it's a page. We're going to show posts by page owner and other people. And we'll put the language as English UK. Save the changes. And then I'm just going to customize the display. So the feed height is 600 px. And save. And you notice in WordPress it's always a case of do something and save, do something and save. And that way you don't, if you go onto another tab or another page and you've lost all your work. I'm just going to go into miscellaneous as well. And we want to show a like box so people can go and like our Facebook page. We want it above the post so it's at the top of the display. And then we just want to show the faces of fans, so like a nice little display of all the thumbnails of the fans. And we'll save the changes. So that's done. And now we're going to the Instagram feed. And very simple, log in and get my access token user ID. So I'm logged into Instagram here. This is the Totally Locally Leak page. and all we do is log in and get my access token, and that just again just takes a few seconds and it's done. So it's as simple as cut and paste. And save. And again, we just want to customize that. And the height of the feed, same as Facebook, 600px. The other settings here, sort photos newest to oldest, which makes sense, and we'll display 20 photos in 4 columns, so I'll have a grid of 4x5. And that fits in conveniently with that 600 pixel height. So we've done the 2 settings there. You might be wondering what we're going to do with Twitter. Well, that's slightly different, and that's done within the page. So I've just gone back to pages now, and you see now that our page that before said new page is now totally locally leak. We'll go and edit that, and go back down to the social media feed that we saw earlier. Social media feeds. So it says if you haven't set up Facebook feed and Instagram feeds, you can do after this page. You need to create a widget at twitter.com. So we'll go down, so we've got to see here, Facebook is set up, and then see Twitter, and it says Twitter timeline ID and username. Now this is what we need to get from Twitter, so we'll go up here, just copy that text, so it's https://twitter.com/settings/widgets/new/user, all that text, copy. We'll just paste that into a new tab. And this is where Twitter will just give us some information to set up. So it says username total local leak. We just want to create a widget. And the height is default at 600 pixels. Now, there's 2 ways of getting the information you need out of here. This code here is very long-winded, but there's a little bit of the text, which is the code number. It doesn't seem to want to give us scrolling easily, so you just have to use the arrows to go through. But there's a string of numbers that we need, which is the widget ID. And we're nearly there. Eventually. See, like I say, it's quite a long string. Here we go, we can see the numbers starting to appear. This is what we need. So the numbers inside the inverted commas are there, and copy that. It doesn't seem to want to let us do it, so we'll do it the other simple way. In the URL at the top of the page, it's got the number there. So it's the letters after widgets /. Probably should have thought of that earlier. We've copied that, go to the page, back to Twitter here. So we delete the old timeline ID, which is for the main totally locally site. Paste in our widget number, and then we just got to change the user, so that was total local leak. So it's set up at, and yours will be whatever your Twitter site is. And then we shall again update, so that's done. I hope you can just hear this over the fan. Unfortunately, I can't switch that off at the moment. So now we're down to location map. So we've done our social media feeds, location map, put your address after address. So if you look down here, it says we are here, address, your address goes here. And this is going to be a map on the page, so people want to know where your town is can find it quite easily. So I'll just put Leek, Staffordshire, UK. Depending on your address, if you're sort of like a more defined suburb or something, you might want to put the postcode at the end of there as well. And then the next bit, we're back after that short interruption. Yeah, so we've just set the Instagram account up. We've got email here. Now, you were sent an email address, so as I said earlier on this example, it's leak@totallylocally.org, and we just need to put that into the page here so that people can contact us by email. So just leak at. And then the final bit we've got here is the YouTube channel. So we've got Total Local Leak YouTube, and we've got a playlist set up here of a couple of videos. So again, just need to copy that after the /youtube.com, copy that information and paste. And then the same here. just copy and paste that into there. And then we get the message here, you're done. Hey, just click update and have a look at your page. So let's do that. So there's update. And this is one of those fingers crossed, everything crossed, and hold your breath sort of moments. So let's wait for this to all go through and be updated. And it's done. So it says page updated. So we've got the template there. So this is what it looked like at the start, if you remember. So like I say, fingers crossed, bated breath, and just wait for it to load. There we go, ta-da! So quite a big change. So we've got Totally Locally Leak, got the pages there, the header, our image slider with the titles that we set up. And if every person in the leak area spent £5 per week in the local independent shops instead of online or at the big supermarkets, it'd be worth an extra 4.1 million a year going to the local economy. So that's all there. Got the description we put for the town, and we've got our Facebook page here, so someone's done quite a lengthy update on that by the look of it as a post. So we've got the various bits, our Twitter feed and our image on Instagram. We are here, so it's got leak on the map. The town news, which we haven't populated yet, but we've got the default one we built in, what is Totally Locally. And we've got our follow links, so just make sure that these work. So Facebook, and that's gone to the right place. Obviously we want to check these work, because if a visitor comes along and tries them and it doesn't, then it does not too good. So there's a Twitter, make sure that one lines up. Yep. Instagram is there. Yay, it's all looking good so far. Email, and that's gone to my email program, send an email to leak@totallylocally.org. And YouTube. And there's our Totally Local Leak videos, so if you get a chance, have a look at those, because we think they're rather good. There you go. So that's the basics of the main setup. Now the only other thing we wanted to look at was the calendar that we talked about. So we go back into our editing. So if you want to use the calendar, we've got the options here. We just want to, you've got event categories. So unless you've got lots of different kinds of events, I wouldn't really bother setting the event categories up. We just want to add a new event. And wait for that to load. So we'll put one of the Sunday supplement markets in there first. Okay, so we've got some options here. It's not an all-day event, so the next one is the 1st of March. And it starts at 10:30 AM. And it finishes at 3:30. It's got the time zone in there that we set earlier. So we then set the location details. So this is in so put Leek Town Centre. And it's Leek, Staffordshire there. So we'll show the Google map. We haven't got an event cost because it's free. And some contact information, so we'll just put an email there. And we've got leak@totallylocally.org. And our web address, which is www, sorry, I have to put HTTP in for this setup, www.totallylocally.org/leak. So we just set the website up. And then we just do a little description of the event. So the Sunday supplement is an award-winning artisan market full of locally made products, honey to beer, cheese to chutney, photography, jewellery, think what else we do on the. We've got about 50 stalls. I can't think of any of them at the moment. Cheese chutney, photography, jewellery, and lots. Well, obviously, we'll fill this in a bit more detail later on, and lots more. Many of Leek's independent shops, cafes, pubs are also open for the day, making for a relaxed day out in our traditional market town. Okay, so that's the brief description that we've done, and then you've got this option to set a featured image. So we're going to set an image, we're going to upload a file. I can find this now, so it's in the Dropbox. Totally locally bleak. I'm just going to search for manifesto and see what comes up. There we go, the Sunday Supplement manifesto. Sunday Supplement: live totally, shop locally, slow down, switch off and join in. Meet your friends, have a day trip to your own town, grow your community, drink tea, eat cake, read a paper, have a chat. Love Sunday, love Leek. It's got the wrong web address on there, but we'll get that changed, but that will do for now. Just wait for that to upload. You can hear the fan kicking in again, obviously it's stressing my computer a little bit here. Recording this as well as doing the work. So this is uploading in the meantime. Just talk amongst yourselves, grab a brew or wait for a bit. It's obviously quite a big file. Not the best example to be using, to be honest. Slowly, so it's getting there. Still progressing ever so slowly. This is my chance to say this is why you should always optimise your images for websites before you upload them. So that's what we did with the slider images, made them nice and compact, and you saw how quickly they uploaded. These big images don't do anyone any favours, so I will delete this after this tutorial is finished. Right, so there we go. And the title's on there. We talked about earlier having a title, so we'll just copy that and put in the alternative text. Set featured image. So that's appeared there now, so that will appear on the calendar entry. We're not using any categories, and we can publish that. So now we've created a calendar event, but it doesn't appear in the menu. If you look on here, I haven't got any calendar. If I refresh the page, we still haven't got the calendar. So I'm just going to close some of these tabs down, see if this will make things easier as well while we're working. So the thing we do is we go into the menu, so we're back in the editing part here. So we've got appearance down here and menus. This is where we control what appears in the menu. So we've created an event because we decided we're going to use the calendar. So we've got the home, contact us and news, which you've seen there. Let's click on calendar, add to menu. We might just drag that up. Make sure it sits in line, otherwise it becomes a sub-menu and a pop-out. Save the menu. That's done. So we go back now and refresh our page. All being well, we've now got a calendar as well. So click on the calendar there. And we've got the Sunday Supplement Market at Leek Town Centre, March the 1st, 10:30 till 3:30. Open that up. There's our featured image that we put in and the Sunday Supplement information. If you click on read more here, you've got all the information you need. So you've got where it is, and I've put it down as the Netherlands. Didn't think I'd done that. So we're going to have some very disappointed visitors travelling a long way. So let's go back and alter that. So that's where we created the menu. So we want to see our events that we've created before. We're going to edit Sunday Supplement Market. And event location. So I'm just going to delete that. Delete Staffordshire. Right, that's more like it. Update. Now, one of the good things about WordPress, you'll have seen there earlier when I looked at the events. So we've got these events recurring. You can clone the event. I'm going to clone it to draft so that it's ready to edit. And the simple thing we do is going to change the date. So it's on the first Sunday of every month. So the first Sunday of April is the 5th. Everything else is still the same. And publish. So if we now go back to the calendar, we've got both events there. So we can build this up to be quite a good, useful calendar for the town. Now, the only other thing we want to look at for the site is the posts structure. So notice in posts that we created the category of total local town news, and there's one that was uncategorized. What we want to do is make the town news the default posting category. So if we go down into settings and writing, we'll change the default post category to total local news. Save. Save the changes. Go back into posts, and we've got our posts here. I'm just going to change the category that this sits in to total local elite news and update it. Just, it's one of those little things, but it looks neater and it's better for people. So with posts, you'll notice that you can actually also comment on the posts. So this is our post here, Total Local is an award-winning social enterprise and shop local movement. Continue reading. And we've got the information there for the page. If we had more information on the pages, then you'd have a list of your posts in chronological order. I think we've actually switched the comments off because I think we found that most people were getting spammed a lot by them. So that's how you post there. So if you want to add a new post, it's really simple. I'll just run into that in a second.